Welcome to question challenge number 20. So what we have is actually quite simple task. We have a messy data. So we can see it's a text file input. Everything's in a single column, but you have some lot of nulls, blanks, etc. to deal with. The final target results is actually very nice clean table. We will have record number. I think that's a dummy variable. Then we have a six column from company name, address, phone, tax, notes, and website. It's how we can handle the parsing. This case, let's use quite a bit on the browse tool. We're going to do some extensive look on the browse. When we try to pass data, particular message structure, limbo just run workflow, it's the first thing is finding the pattern. Particular, if you have a fixed number of rows, then that'd be easy. You can almost do multi-row, or you have a fixed entry to tell you that's a new item. Unfortunately for us, this data set is actually quite bad format. You do not have the exact repeating pattern. So company name, for example, the first six rows we have company name blank, you have address. Turns out you even have the phone number in there, which is annoying. Sometimes the phone number is on its own, sometimes in the address. We got to be able to handle it better. The next batch, yes, we can see this is six rows, almost promising, except the next group. So you have more than six rows. So you do not finish row 18, you finish in row 19 before you start the next uh, on the company name. That means we cannot create a fixed six rows or seven rows batch that will mess the row structure. That's the bad news. Other things we can scroll down to see our different formats. You have a lot of dots, some blank. You have a little bit red indicator, indicate that's a trading space. You have no values in there. Even company name has space in the start. So those are all the bad things about it. This can be a very good indicator to what we have. During your own time, you can have a look in the, let me zoom in a bit. Turns out the good news is we do have some kind of fixed structure to handle. For example, address, quick look in the browser tool, you will notice you always going to have a comma, space, two capital letters for the state. Then you followed by the postcode for the state. That's good. That's a pattern we can recognize. Then below, anything to do with notes, you note you have always three dots to start up with and finish up with. That's good. As long as the pattern, it's good. Email address, website address, HTTP, okay. Phone and the fax is a bit annoying. They follow exact same format, so regex can do the contain, but sometimes you have fax, sometimes you don't. And sometimes in the previous case, on the very top, you're gonna have phone number in that address. So kind of mix up hitting the phone number, very badly formatted. Anyway, let's try to handle those a bit better. So the first thing I want to do, because we have a single column, you want to be able to batch things. You want to make sure you keep your things reversible. Record ID is the first thing I want to just naturally try to make sure I can always go back to my original rows. That's done. We have a lot of trading space. Try to prevent those. We can do some formatting. So field one, let's get rid of trading space first. Let's just trim everybody. We trim on the white space. Because for us, we do not have any fixed rows. That's why we can probably do a filter to get rid of the blank space, no values. So those columns. In practice, depends on the structure. For example, some of the data you have missing value, but you know it's always 10 rows as a one batch for one record, then you do not want to filter those rows. That will through error, mess up the counting. But for this data set, we notice the rows is not consistent. We can able to drop. Even a dot, we can drop. So let's apply a quick filter. So we do not care field one. I never tried a in function. Let's try something interesting. So field one in. Will this only test the string? I'm not sure if it tests uh, dot. I'm not sure it tests null value though. Oh, no kidding. It handles null value. That's Boolean. Okay, that's good. Just to keep consistent, those are the value we do not want, so we want to drop out. So probably keep it in the false. The true value usually the one you want to keep the data flow through. Because of top anchor, I just get used to keep the top anchor. Okay, that's good. We'll get our rows reduced. So from 12,000 to 5,000. Okay, manageable. Next batch, the trick is to actually identify what kind of information you have. The way I go for, personally, I like regex. Yeah, that's what regex really shines. You have some kind of string field. You got to handle how to match the string. Let's actually just copy a lot of rows into our regex formula. Okay, we're going to do those separately. We'll show. Let me just go down. Let's do one thing bit by bit. Let's try to pass out different information. Company name is actually the trickiest. We leave that last because there's no standard pattern for that. The first thing, second thing after company name is address. We said address, you're always going to have your postcode. Sorry, your state and your postcode. So what we can do is we can have anything dot start. We have a comma. We're going to have a space. Then state, at least it's always capital letter, two of them. That's good news. It's a pattern we can fix. Then you may have follow slash space. Then you have a digits slash d. We can do plus. Keyboard is annoying. Quick glance on the sample data we put in. That's pretty good. It's getting our all the address rows. Now the phone number we're going to handle separately. At least it's a good catch. Let's Control C. Then we can do dot star. I always prefer to have my registers to completely match the string I'm looking for. Then in that case, it's easier to add in the round bracket to do capture group. So Control C. Let's go to the workflow. Let's go to address. The one I want to use is regex match. I just want to use an indicator to decide do we have this format or not. So regarding the field one, we're going to test our pattern. We're going to change it to integer first. So let's have a look at the results for the regex. By default, 0 indicates a negative. Any other number is a positive true statement. So -1 in this case is considered a true, 0 otherwise. So we can pick in most address. That's good. That means we're capturing the stuff we do want to capture. The next thing, after address, you have a phone and you have fax. Because phone and fax overlaps. For the phone, we're going to repeat the pattern. Let's go back to the regex first to test the phone number. Phone number, we can see most of them, you have a /d. If it's 3 times, you may have a dash. If it's 3 times, another 3 digits, you have a dash, and you have the 4 digits for the phone number. So that is good. That's catching. Now, even though some of the phone number is captured with an address, we're getting what we want. It's always easier to capture things, everything you want, than among the things you capture. Then you can do additional filter to get rid of this stuff. Reach down to be able to see that. Oh, actually, it's an output I want to click. Then actually, expectation. So you can see most phone numbers nice, but sometimes you have a really bad format, those extension. So if purely match a string, you may not be able to capture those extensions. So you probably want to have a dot star to handle those guys. Other scope, again, extension causing trouble. Most of those is fun. I think there's a few other special cases you need to handle. Usually with string length. Those is gone. Sometimes you have a duplication phone number. Check the second part of the video. That will show you what's the issue for those. Oh, okay. Also, those guys. You have a one in the front. That's a special case we need to handle. What I'm trying to find is, I think some of the phone number does not have a dash in it. They just have a pure digits. And there's two special case in the second part of the video you will see. It has the dots rather than dash, which will cause you trouble. Oh, wasn't expecting this too, so that's going to be annoying. Because even if you have those fields, that's still the indicator for the phone still say you at least have this pattern within, so you will be able to match as it is. So that's fun. We can keep that as our condition. Uh, Let me copy my regex. Like I said, always make sure you want to capture all those things. Let's get dot star, dot star. So it always capture everything. And integer, because a minus, if you just do bit, you could, it's a small number, but you have a minus one. Bit does not include minus one, you got to go integer to have a negative numbers. So the phone should be there, and we have a fax. Fax is a bit easier to handle because you always have the word fax in it. So we have web.star. Sometimes you may have FAX within a word. So a better job is we're always going to have a space with a fax. Then fax, I think, is always ending on it. We can capture, oops, sorry, dot star dot is always end. In the data that I looked, there's nothing more after the fax, so we don't need to worry about. Dollar sign indicate the last of the string. So this handle the specific facts. There are special cases again in the end. We'll worry about that later. Regex match. So this data set is really bad data set. There's a lot special case you want to capture. In terms of system design, in terms of robustness of the system workflow, you rather design a more generic approach, capture 95% of the case, then 5% case, you use a filter to pass out and handle individually, rather than try to create a very complicated formula within the workflow. It's almost impossible to maintain. You have probably 1,000 records, you create a whole complicated formula just for the sake of 2 rows of it. It's a really bad trade-off. Fax is done. Then we have a notes website, which is easier because they have a very specific pattern. So let's call that notes. So notes have a regex pattern, much easier FIE field. You're always going to start with a specific format. Now, dot is a special character in regex. It indicates any symbol, any character. We want to escape it. So dot. And we know we're always going to have 3 of those. So 3 dots is good. Then we have web text for the notes. Then we have dots again, 3 dots to enclose to capture the final comment. In the thing so copied, okay, that's doing its job, good. Workflow, condition, integer, then the website. Website, it's even easier. You can use start with, but we want to keep things consistent. Let's use everything as an indicator to use Boolean. You start up with you start start with you do not get a Boolean back. So field star. You can use hard character to say that's a start string. We just need HTTP. It's very unique. We don't need to worry about anything that's matching this stuff. Dot star for the rest. Let's look. Okay, that's good. That's handling most of the stuff. So you have colons, zeros, dun, 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 dun. Later on, we're going to handle the test values. So for example, we indicated this is address and this phone number. So we know the phone number is in there. We are able to actually pass those information out late in the later steps. So that's fun. The second thing, fax and the phone number. So we know they kind of do overlapping in the formatting. So we can always do a different logic to say if you are already is fax, it definitely overrides the condition for phone. What left is the company name. Logic I'm doing is the best way to do is since we pass all the information out, the only thing left we haven't be able to handle doesn't fit in any particular format. That must be a company name that's left over. To do that, let's do say a test, a dummy column. Let's call it dummy. A test is fun. Let's have a second part video. Let's keep consistent. So what that does is it's address. It's adding up all the my indicators plus nodes plus website. Let's do enter. Da, da, da. Let's update the phone number a bit. So let's do before test. So to update logic is if it's a basic if statement. If my phone equals just equals fax. If both number equal either they're both -1, that means the fax take priority. The phone number should be 0. If they're both 0, phone number still should be 0. Yeah. You can use -1, phone equals -1, and fax equals -1. You can. If they're both equal, then my phone number should be 0. Uh, if they're not equal, they still be 0. No, that's not right. If they're equal, they're both -1. That means the fax take priority. -1 it should be 0. If they're both 0, if they are not equal, so you phone at 0, fax is -1. If they're not equal, you just keep it as this. That's better logic. So I guess we can look at row number 7 later because after this formula, row 7, record ID 16 should be only fax. Row 6, yeah, 16. So we updated this thing and we create those dummy column. So as long as the dummy column is a number that indicate this row corresponding to some value, address, nodes, website, etc. If the sum is 0, the row is associated with nothing that indicates this is a company name. For this, we can use multi-row to fill out the rest of the table. So let's call the company name. Company. Int -1 should be fine. Rather than looking above, we're actually looking down. The top row at 0 is fine. You can try different things, but because we're looking back, we want to do addition from the previous row. If you start the first row now, the logic try to plus one doesn't make sense. We'll keep it zero. We don't need to do any group by. So the logic, try to imagine the first two rows. F currently is zero on this row, and the number below is non-zero. That means you are one group. You only happens if you hit it into the zero. So if my current row, my current test is zero, and the row below is not zero. That means I'm a company ID. That means I'm starting a new company group. That's the first row of the company. So I want my, oh, not this one. So my company name indicator above, plus one. Else, I'm in still in the same company group. I want my current company. Oh, where's my current company? Da, 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 da. Yeah, sorry. I also keep it as a bit above. So the first test, the first sentence for the if, you can imagine that's what happens. Yes. Else statement comes something like that. So the first two, you'll say, okay, that's company a number. You're above zero. The row below is a number, so I'm in the same company ID, etc., until you hit that. Okay, so you can see the first two is a pair. That's good. The next two is a pair. That's good. Those row is a pair. That's good. The last is a pair. Yeah. If you just scroll to a random position, quick check. We have a company name somewhere. Company name, HTTP. So that's a one batch. Yes. So it's doing its job. Try to capture correctly what the rows you're looking for. Now, last but not least, we need to handle the duplication. Actually, let me remove the duplication from this form. Let's do that separately. It doesn't affect the final calculation. It's better to break your formula apart so it's easier to manage maintenance of it. We want to update the phone number. So the idea is the first thing we can update is this. Rather use this condition. Is that equal? No, let's rather test so it's easy to read. If my phone number equals -1 and my fax equals -1, then fax take priority. Then my phone number should be 0. Else if my phone number equals -1 and the address, so your phone is in the address, equals -1, then let's say 1 because I want to handle those separately. Else we just use your regular phone number. Else I keep my phone number as it is. I just say phone, or you can just write yeah, sometimes it's 0, sometimes 1. Else we just stay whatever the number we have. So in this case, we can see, yes, address and phone number is handled separately. Separately as fax, yeah, all the fax then shouldn't have any phone number corresponding to it. To add up, we can filter out phone number to be just 1. So that's the special case you want to hand out. So those are the should be all the rows with the phone number contained with an address. And we'll see the next part of video how we can handle those things. Okay, welcome back for the challenge 20. It's a modified updated recording. We're going to continue from the previous part. So we have created a phone number. Let's add a filter. So we're going to handle the phone to be +1. So that's indicate address. Hopefully it's all the addresses. Yes. So you have addresses in your phone number. You do have extensions. Most of those is a 3 digits dash 3 digits dash 4 digits. That's good. That's easy to handle. And just worry about any particular case. So because we know we're gonna have comma state, then your postcode. Then the postcode may have a dash in between. That's gonna be annoying. Um, does postcode even have space in there? Yeah. All right. Let's be a bit really ambitious. Um, go with your rows. Select it. Let's do our regex as usual. I feel like we have a dot star, that's everything. We need to be able to handle a comma. Then you have a slash. S for state. For the state, you're always going to have capital letter A to Z. You're going to have two of them. To state after, you probably have a space. Then you have a bunch of digits. Let me think. So it's better, yeah, we'll do capture group. So you have a digits or, oops, function vertical, or you can have a dash and you have a multiple of them. So far, so good. So does my phone number have always two space? Guarantee, at least in the view, you have two spaces. Then we have always going to be digits, three. Some of those may or may not have a dash. So I want to just be do that. Three, you might or may not have dash. Then you have a slash digit of 4. So far in this one it works. Let's try to see if we can tokenize this thing better. So this is basically a capture group. And everything else before is your address with postcode. We can do that as a separate capture group. You probably separate by the two spaces. You cannot do just one space, otherwise every time you see a space, it'll split things up. Let's see if this is an ambitious attempt works or not. So we're going to do filter one. That's our massive. Well, not massive. That's okay. We're going to tokenize. So we're going to split it to rows. Case centium. That's fine. Let's see. So you can have 0 more. You can have more. So we don't care about address. Uh, filter one. Yeah, the address will leave as it is. We just tokenize the phone number. No, in that case, don't tokenize. I mean, we'll just pass of it. It's just to pass. Oh yeah, you already have a column address and the token. Let's call the address. Yeah, address two is fine. Let's leave it there. No worry about it. So my intention is the thing that I'm thinking is either I can pivot this long, move back to the data set to keep the same format because everything in one single column, then try to do a massive pivot, get everything back. Or this is already coming in the desired format. You probably get your address, you get phone number separated. Um, should I just keep as it is? I think I'll probably just try to pivot back. May not be the most efficient way, but you have a unclean data set, you probably just have to handle as it is. Do we need everything else? We can keep everything. Those fields don't. Field one, that's fine. We're gonna replace field one later. Phone post qualifying, we can keep everything because everything in front for each single row should be identical. It's only the last is why I pivoted out. So only two more columns to pivot. So let's see. We have our record. You have a phone. You have a address and a phone. You have a text column. Uh, I can remove the column. Name two can be replaced. Address and a phone. 01. Yeah, we have multiple options. That's what I'm considering. Which one may be the easiest. Well, since we're learning, may well just go for a different approach. Learn a few more tools how I would pivot things. Let's handle the logic first. Um, the first one, we'll try to handle the phone number because the address. We can both handle the address and the phone column. In the address column, if my name because ADIES is 2. So the first row it address indeed address, then give me keeping my address indicator. That's fine. Else you shouldn't be a name address. Else that's handle the second row. That should be a phone. Your address indicator should be 0. Then for the phone column, we do the same thing. This is the phone column 2. Phone. So if this is a 2, rather than have a 1, that should be -1. Can you do -1? Else keep it 0. Mhm. -1, -1, 1, -1. Okay, that's what we have. Look at our data set. We should have 9 columns. We need to get those 9 columns so we can append it back. The value column is called field 1. We need to handle as test. So let's do a select, change the column, union back. So the name column should be dropped. This column, value column, move up to be field 1. So that should be 9 columns. What we have, or other indicate column as a test. That's fine. That handle the special case for the phone. we should be able to do union back to the actual pop data set. Let's drag it here. Let's add it in the union. Regex 50. Regex 50 is fine. That's 2 coin. Okay, that's all the things we have. For us, record ID is fine. We can keep it as. We can probably drop the record ID now. Because it's not unique anymore, we pivot the data. It's a bit annoying. But we have our record ID. We have a calling indicator. What's my calling indicator? 0. Oh yeah, I need to add in the calling indicator. Okay. What the formula? I did the phone too much. Let's go back on the phone. We can handle the company name separately. Company name. Int. If so, the idea is if our test the mean is 0, then company name, then it should be -1. Else keep it 0. I should handle the company name. Company main name is not present all things. Okay, company name. Oh, select too many. We shouldn't need pivot company name. Company name should be a group by. Field one. That's probably a better job to do. Yeah, we'll go rid of the conversion error company name. So let's see. We're looking for the 6 columns. So that's a 5 column. Company name is 6 column. We can drop the test. We can drop the record ID. Let's do one more select to keep date clean. We don't need a record number should be the first one. Field 1 is always our value. Company name should be the before address, I think. Test indicator column we don't need anymore. Let's look at dataset. That's good. Field 1 may have some kind of trading space. Okay, that's fun. We can always go back to previous tool. Hope the trading space doesn't impact us. So we're going to trim field 1 with trading space. That should handle that. So this is like a record 13. With company name, we want to pivot. Okay. You can use a pivot, or you can actually probably. I'm thinking it's a multi-column. After you read each column, if your current column, do you? I think you don't actually. Yeah, pivot is fun. So I love pivoting. So it's wide to long format. The thing I want to keep is for each record. So that's a company I record number. The 6 column, the indicate column, we want to pivot. So the field 1 column we don't want to pivot. Then we can do an if statement on it. So basically, once after pivoting, you have a name value pair. For them, yes, if the value is non-zero, give me the field 1. 0, you ignore it. Then we can always filter out the 0 values. We can even filter the 0 values now. Value is not now. No, value does not equal to 0. All the things is -1. Hopefully that's good. Yeah, we don't even need the formula form. We'll see. So then which is it's a long format, long to wide. We still want to group by for the record ID. Column header should be in the name. Value is field one. Concatenate should be fine. Let's hope we don't have duplications. 1750. How many do we have? We have 1742. That's annoying. So most data should be here. It's getting good stuff. It's about handling a few special cases. Let's put a browse. Out what's the few case is causing our trouble. Oh, that is, yeah. IF. Probably didn't notice this thing. We should be able to do search here. RFI dot. On the row are they? Oh, do we have a space? So that's the 6 rows is causing me trouble. Let's see if this email should attach to the correct company or not. Well, even the data set itself is a bit messy. You have a duplication in the rows. They should probably clean up that duplication rows. Let's check another case. RFI. Yes, duplication. RF is messing your record ID. That's fine. Let's filter this out. So that indicate our company does not. Start us with. So we don't want our company to start up with RFI. So that pass out 6 rows for us. Then you have 144. That probably match most to um, the final answer. So far, those rows seems to be maybe indicate the original data set. But even for the original data set, they seem to have duplication rows. So 142 may not match perfectly. But you would have. Oh, that's probably parent company. Trust media. So we have a duplication row in here. Then you have a sub company. Are we doing good things with them? 1744. Let's see. Yeah. So even if the answer above, they have some kind of duplication rows. And it is probably will be able to perform mostly. The last way to check is to the join. The true is fine. So we can see which company we didn't manage to join. The record number will be messed up because the way we filter out potential mix up. So it may not be the easiest to join on the record number. I would say company name is a better choice to join the two field. Okay, keep out the column. Let's see how that goes. You should have 1,700. These of those should match up. The number goes up a bit because they have the duplication rows. That since that's not joined, That's the thing that's not joined. Hmm. So we have three company we didn't join correctly. Their company number according training. The company name didn't pass out correctly. 800 response style 800 express D. Express D. Yeah, it's the special case about the facts. So this should be fun because we can do a separate because this is a very special case. No one has email address for their fax. You can do that almost manually to check the last one. 800 response and the dial 800. Yeah, that's it. The reason I messed up is the fax. So those three rows is messed up because the fax messed things up. Google file Ukrainian. Why this thing was messed up? Let's have a look at the record ID. Mhm. It happens after pivot. So probably before we see the pivot, what happens? So 1102, our record number. So that's this row. So the fax is correct picked up. The company name is not correct picked up. 1102. That means we need to go before the multi-row formula. Mhm. 1102. Data engineer, the number is already there, 1102. So this, because this has no, it's not fit as address, or, oh, that potentially someone's phone number. That potentially to be someone's phone number. Let's check the data. Did someone has phone number? Yeah, somebody's phone number. Uh, so that means, that indicates, let's have a look. So we have two company. That's a little bit annoying. They have rather than use a dash, they use a dot. Can we handle it? Yes, we can probably go back to a special case. So you have a two case with the dots. You have three company that has the fax in their, yeah, fax number that mess things up. So we can manually almost to add those three in because we can pass. If a comma, that's good. At least we can pivot on a comma. I would for those rows, I would basically select those required D, do the transformation, join back to the data. This phone number is the annoying things because that create a separate record D. That's not good. Those company name they are good. It's manageable. If three company has a phone number in there, okay. Uh, but to save time, I'm not going to continue the video. Like those things, we have a six individual case. It's a really bad case of data type. So right, your choice is you can embed into your initial passing. For example, for the phone, the top two phone number, you can add in here, I think. So you can do a capture group. No capture group, it's group. So you can either have a escape dot. So either have a dot to connect things up or a dash, close bracket. You can have either a dot or the keyboard is going or square. I think with this modification that should handle the top two phone number. Let's see. Oh, yeah, all three phone number is handled. Hopefully that's right. Yeah, all the three phone numbers are handled. That's good. Better than I anticipated. For those facts, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll go back. Yeah, this was basic the facts. So rather than, because all the facts we did is you have a digits dash 3-3-4 with the facts. This has a text in the view, so you cannot pass them specifically as a facts. Uh, you can do as additional formula company name pass out, so the update your fax column to get those out. The last guy, come on, they shouldn't. Don't put the email address in your fax name. That should get rejected back on the data. But this should be suffice to handle the data. So yeah, it's a challenging questions. It'll be messy to handle as well. But uh, that's why it's difficult. Thank you.